Hey there, American Farmsteadhers. This is Jenny at the Gramstead Family Farm, and I'm here with my friend Donna from Hazel Bell Farm.
Hello.
And we are coming to y'all today, finally, now that we've got the glitches maybe figured out.
For a moment.
We are coming to y'all today to talk a little bit of fall, winter garden planning. Yes, because that is what the next right thing is.
Yes. Yeah, a couple weeks ago when we talked about loss on the farm, and you said just do the next right thing when you're overwhelmed, and that has become my mantra, especially in the garden right now.
Yes. I find myself telling myself that same thing. Next right thing, look at the garden, what is it in front of you that you can do to move yourself to the next step in the process?
Exactly.
So, typical Florida garden, I know mine is like engulfed in the perimeter with weeds.
Grass. Mine is grass.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know what the weed is. It's similar to purslane, but it's easy to pull, but it quickly grows and spreads out of one little rootstock, and it kind of works like a ground cover. It's got all the little white flowers on it. And
yeah,
the
it's
bees
like a
love
mat.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bees love it, and so as I'm pulling, it's like growing intertwined with the grass, and as I'm pulling the grass, like this morning, I've got Mexican sunflowers behind me and zinnias beside me and these pretty little weedy flowers in front of me in the grass. And I'm pulling the grass, and like all the bees want to be in there, and there's a massive hornet in there.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my gosh. What's the next right thing?
Run from the hornet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it had no interest in me at all. It just wanted the flowers.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been in continual clean out mode in our garden. I don't know if I told you, but I terminated my cover crop.
Yeah, you did.
Yep, got that terminated. It's breaking down really good. I still never covered it up. I was intending on covering it up with a tarp, but the weeds on the perimeter of the garden is what kind of stopped me from covering with the tarp. So, I really need to get in there with something and take care of, like, I've got like dog fennel and like some serious stuff on the perimeter.
Me too. And grass. Lots of grass. Like, I cannot grow grass in my pastures like I can grow in my garden.
I know. I don't know what it is.
It's so frustrating. Like, I need you to go over there. No, pulling the grass, digging it out. And then eventually I'll get to new mulch. It's like all between my blackberries. So, and of course, Eric's answer is spray it. Just spray it. I'm like, I'm going to kill the berry bushes if I spray it.
Right.
And I'm not.
That's not the answer.
Yeah, it's not the answer.
It's not the answer, for
That's
sure.
That's not the next right thing. So I want to do it right. So yeah, pulling weeds. That's been my life this week. Any spare moment I have is pulling weeds.
Well, me too. And I also took the extra time this week to actually test my garden soil.
So fun.
Because I think I've only tested it once. And the only time I ever tested it was the very first year, and I only tested the pH.
Yeah, I've only ever tested pH also.
And, so it just occurred to me, I was like, that would probably be a really smart thing to do at this point.
Yeah.
Because I was really questioning what the next right thing to do was with the garden.
If you don't have the information you need to make that decision, then you're kind of lost. You're just floundering and throwing stuff at it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Which is
that's what I did all spring and summer. And my summer garden just was not up to par. I mean, we got some stuff, but not anything like we should have. So I decided to go ahead and take the plunge and just buy the soil test kit, which I got off of Amazon. It was like $16.95.
Easy.
Affordable. Yeah, and it comes with 40 tests.
What?
40 for $16.95, and I got it next day Amazon.
Nice.
It was amazing. I was so tickled with all that. Because I looked online, because I thought about doing a few different samples and actually having it sent off to the lab. But those kits were like $30 some a piece. And essentially, I wanted to be able to test like 4, maybe 5 different areas, because all of those areas are basically rotated with crops.
Right.
So they're amended the same way.
Right.
They've had the same things grown in them. But I wanted to do the testing in all the different areas. So, and I just wasn't going to be able to afford $150
Right.
to test the garden
Redmond's
soil.
Real Salt Company, they have a new test out.
That's who I looked at.
Okay, so it's like $30 each?
Yeah, it's
okay.
like $30.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
So I went on Amazon and bought that little $17 one and had it overnighted. And so it tests pH, nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. So it took me like half a day to do all the tests. I was really shocked at how long it took me.
Wow.
And it was hot.
Wow.
So the pH testing was really quick, and all that came out really good. The pH across the board was about the same, averaging about a 7.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. I'm happy with that. I had one little area that was a little bit higher and one that was a little bit lower, but still in that normal vegetable range.
Okay.
So I was happy with that. It really got interesting when I started getting into the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and the potassium,
Yeah.
and it really just kind of solidifies what I have been saying all garden season long, that I should have let my land rest.
Oh.
It was 7th year garden, and as we've said before, the Bible says that, that is supposed to be the land Sabbath year. You're supposed to let it rest. And those test results screamed, you should have let your land rest.
Was it low and everything?
It was depleted across the board, Donna.
Really?
And I have done chicken manure. I've done chicken manure water. I've done grass clippings.
Right.
I mean,
You've done the blood.
I've done chicken blood multiple
Compost.
times.
You've done
I've
all
done
kinds of stuff.
compost.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, all of my beds get amended
Right.
at the beginning every single time. And I really felt like I really tried to hone in on feeding the soil this year,
Yeah.
but it was not enough. I mean, my nitrogen was depleted.
So what's the answer? What are
The
you gonna
answer
do?
is I should have let my land rest on the 7th year.
Yeah, I get that, but like, where do you go from here?
I
What are you
know.
going to add to it to
Well,
make it not depleted?
I know at first, because the test kit comes with like a whole bunch of different, if your numbers for nitrogen are in this range, this is how much blood meal you should add to the garden.
Okay.
And so it tells you like how many ounces per 100 square feet.
Okay.
And so I think it said I needed like 36 ounces of blood meal per 100 square feet.
Oh,
That's a lot of blood meal that my garden needs.
yeah.
So then
I don't even know how many square feet of growing space I have inside of my garden.
my garden is about like 60 by 50. So it's not small.
This is interesting.
Yeah. So
Okay, so you need a lot of blood meal.
I need a lot of blood meal.
like
and
sacrifice the animals.
Everybody better watch out.
Hold a butcher class in the garden.
And then potassium.
Uh-huh.
I had one area that was maybe a little low on the adequate side, and all my other areas were completely depleted. The recommendation for that is bone meal. And I didn't look up how much, but
Probably a lot.
probably a lot. Probably similar to the blood meal.
Right.
And then potassium, I had a couple of areas that actually looked adequate or low adequate. But I was shocked about that nitrogen.
Yeah, that is shocking, especially after you topped all your beds with compost this year, all of them. And it's not like you had an overproductive garden where you just pulled pounds and pounds of produce out this year.
No, I did not.
So it's not like it got used up. Is it locked up somehow? Do you have a lot of wood chips in there?
I have wood chips in my walkways.
Okay.
But if you like dig in my actual beds,
Yeah.
it's soil.
Right.
The dirt looks good,
Right.
but it didn't test good.
Interesting.
I was so shocked.
So you're still kind of reeling from that. You're not sure what your plan is yet.
Yeah, no, I'm not real sure what the plan is. I do have a giant pile of grass clippings, and I thought, well, I can just put all the grass clippings down. But then I went out there and started looking through it, and there sure are a lot of seeds in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's my concern. I've done that before.
I might jump off a cliff if I put that in.
Right. Right. I've done that before. So here's what I would do. If you have it like to pile up already, or it's already piled up.
It's already piled up.
So pile it up in where your chickens are and just let it sit and
Okay.
let it compost on its own.
Right.
And then let the chickens have at it and
Right.
they'll turn it.
Okay.
They will eat the grass seeds.
Okay.
Let that happen. And then as
That's a
it
great
breaks
idea.
down, after it breaks down, use the stuff that looks like soil.
Right. Well, funny you should mention that because after I tested all the garden soil, I just thought, I'm going to test my chicken coop soil.
Yeah.
The nitrogen was through the
Right.
roof. Like the sample for like a surplus of nitrogen was supposed to be like a fuchsia color. It was like almost black purple.
Wow.
Like it was extremely high. So, and it actually had a little bit of phosphorus and a little bit of potassium in there. So
Maybe dig that out for your garden?
I think that's what I might do. I
Yeah.
actually already have like one wheelbarrow full already dug out. And since it is so high, maybe like on each, my rows are about like 12 to 15 feet long probably. I'm thinking maybe like 2 or 3 scoops per row, spread it out, and then just water it in.
And yeah, that doesn't hurt to try. I mean, you could retest if you
Right.
if you wanted, excuse me. But yeah, I don't think I keep seeing, the lady we like to follow on Facebook.
Yes.
Okay. I keep seeing her post about
I don't see her page anymore.
Well, I didn't. Actually, I haven't seen it for a while, but
Okay.
I kept seeing her post about her little compost pile.
Okay.
And she had straight, brand new, fresh, hot chicken manure on the top, and stuff was growing out of it. And it was one of her myth busters that chicken
Right.
poop is not too hot to grow in.
Right.
It's like, So my thought was, I have like my garden boxes, my raised boxes beds, and then I have the in-ground beds. Both have similar soil to them. The boxes were better. I got it all from the same place.
Okay.
But the boxes I filled last year.
Okay.
The rest of it I built up this year, and it just didn't do as well this year. Mm-hmm. And the old stuff is old now, so it needs to be replenished. So I had a bunch of stuff. I was like, it doesn't like the soil. It doesn't like the soil, for the longest time, like the green beans. And then lo and behold, I just took that chicken dirt, like straight out of the chicken coop and spread
Yeah.
it around the green beans, and they took off. They didn't burn up.
Yeah.
And here we are in August. I still have not pulled those plants, and they're big and bushy and dark green. It's too hot for flowers and fruit on them.
Right.
But they're not dead. They're not, they're not like, they don't look anemic like they did when they were first trying to take off. So
That's really interesting.
yeah.
Really interesting. I watched a YouTube video the other day. Jill Winger,
Yeah.
I think is who it was. She was having issues with her seedlings. All of her seedlings were dying in her store-bought soil.
I watched that.
Yeah, and so she tested like 5 different bags, and they were all super low on nutrients.
Right. So they were like more for like raised beds, like as filler.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
that Kellogg's one is one that keeps coming back for people that they had a lot of trouble with this year. Nothing grew in it. And as it turns out, they don't recommend that you grow in just that.
Right. I mean, it was like a potting soil, I
Right.
think. So
Well, it's a raised bed mix.
Right.
And so they say like fill your beds with it, but then add something better to your plant or like
Right.
plant.
right.
Which is kind of what I do anyways. Like
Yeah.
I'll get a better soil or compost whenever I'm transplanting stuff or adding seeds.
Yeah.
And
To add to side dress with.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what they recommend. So interesting. Well, your soil sample test stuff is so fun.
It was so fun to do. It took me like almost a full day. Like
I can't believe
I
that.
piddled around with it. And well, the NPK ones, like you have to mix the soil. You have to mix 1 part water, or sorry, 1 part soil with 5 parts water. Mix it together for a minute, and then you let it sit. And so whenever it's fully separated, you test just the dirty water.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that kind of took a long time. And then each individual test takes 10 minutes to process. And I was
And you
doing
did it 5 times.
yeah, there was like 4 or 5 different areas.
Yeah.
And each area got 3 tests.
Right. Well, plus the pH.
Plus the pH test. So it was a lot of soil testing going on.
And that's just the very basic. Like your NPK
Right.
is the very basic.
Yeah, it's not any of your minerals.
Right. I think that Redmond's one tests for like everything else, like ammonia and sulfur
Yes.
and
Yes.
manganese and, all of the things.
Yeah, and I figured that, the send away lab tests would be a lot more thorough.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess it depends on like what you have going on and
yeah, I mean, I just figured, well, I've never done it, so if anything, it's going to help.
anything is better than nothing. Yeah.
Right.
I'm inspired to do it.
And so I tested my swamp water.
And?
It actually tested adequate on phosphorus and potassium, but depleted in nitrogen. So I think I might throw a bunch of grass clippings in it.
And chicken poop.
Yep, and chicken poo. Mhm. Yep, and let that kind of break down for a little while.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know what swamp water is,
Oh, David the Goods.
Yes.
Headed swamp water.
yes, and it does stink to high heaven. I can fully attest to that. But I've got a really good lid on mine, so you only smell it when you open it.
Yeah.
But it'll knock you over.
Do you just keep it going like a perpetual cycle? You don't ever like use it all and start a new batch?
No. I mean, you can do both ways. It's kind of like whatever you feel like doing from
Right.
what he says on his videos. This is my first batch, but
It's supposed to be easy.
yeah, it's been sitting for at least a month in a 55-gallon barrel. So I just filled that barrel up with water and put a bunch of vegetation in there. Chicken blood went in, chicken manure went in. All my cucumber vines that I took down went in.
And it just breaks down.
And it just breaks down. And so after it had been sitting for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, I went in there and stirred it all up and took some of the stuff out and then added in some more stuff. And
some of like the stuff that didn't break down. Okay.
yeah, like the real woody kind of stuff.
Right. Like stems and things.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it'll still be a really good fertilizer,
Yeah,
to pour on. But my main thing is nitrogen. Like, I gotta get some nitrogen up in that garden.
That's interesting. So you're not feeding your cows hay in the summer, right? You've got
No,
enough
they
grass.
do. They do have a little bit of hay, but
Okay.
I only hand feed them that. So right now I'm making a round bale last like almost 3 weeks.
Yeah.
They only get a little bit of hay.
Okay. I was gonna suggest cow poop, but if you're buying the
Yeah.
hay, I wouldn't use it.
Yeah.
Unless you test it first.
Yeah.
I've got a million thoughts on soil. So it's coming out a little at a time, but
Yeah.
well, that's a really great first step towards your fall garden.
Yes. Another thing that I did was I pulled out all of my seeds
Yeah.
and like spread them all out, and all my old ones.
What a mess.
I know. All of the older seeds went into a box. I may just toss those
broadcast
out.
them.
Yeah, like toss those out in the cow pasture maybe. See what happens. A lot of them are like older lettuces and stuff like that. So I organized all my seeds. They look all pretty now. But it kind of gave me a good starting point of, okay, this is actually the seeds that I have right now.
Yeah.
To really start kind of looking at those and going, what am I going to grow this fall? And by the time I compiled that list, I've realized that I need like a whole second garden. here I am thinking I'm going to grow all the things.
You are going to grow all the things.
So, well, and that leads me to the next question. Like, okay, I already messed up the 7th year land Sabbath deal.
Right. So how?
Should I just amend it and replant it? Or I'm kind of starting to lean towards, you know what, maybe I should just amend it and actually let it rest for the rest of the year.
Right. Until spring?
Yeah. Or until, you know, I mean, in winter, we could throw in some carrots or something like that. I mean, there are some things I could grow in the winter, but so I don't know, because, you know, I thought I could just put down a tarp in a new area. I've got a tiller, you know, I could tarp something, start some seeds, till it up, make a few rows, maybe something that's up closer to the house. But then I've got to keep my dang chickens out of it.
I was just thinking that. Chickens and dogs.
Right. Like if I do a new area, then I have to do a new fence. And that just seems like a lot of work. So then my brain went, okay, what about 55-gallon drums? You know, cut them in half, make some raised beds.
I have a million drums you can have if you want to do that. If you want to do that, you can get them.
You know, and then it's like, okay, well then what dirt would I use? Everybody's having all this trouble with dirt.
Right. I know. So, you know, the soil that I got, I thought might have an issue. I just think it just is not fertile. I think that was the problem. It was too chippy. It was too woody. And I didn't use enough compost in the areas that I planted, because as I've added to it this year, it's gotten better and better. And it's not like nothing showed sign of herbicide damage. Like I know what that looks like.
That has a very distinct look.
Right. I have a tomato plant next to my milk barn that it's growing out of cow poop and bought in hay, and it definitely has herbicide damage. But it's kind of like my reminder. I've let it go.
Right. Don't do it.
It did. It did produce a couple of little fruits that they looked really misshapen, and it's funny. I don't know how it ended up there, but you know how it is when you have animals and
right. I mean, tomatoes pop up all over the place.
It could have been from anything. So, anyways, I have left it there, and it is so gnarly looking. Like it's nasty. Now I did just let the animals in there to eat that grass because it's in that area between my milk barn and my milk room.
Okay.
And I've got patio stones, and the grass got so tall in there I couldn't see the patio stones. Me and the weed whacker are not friends, and so I closed off one doorway and opened the gate. And the time it took me to filter milk a couple of days ago, I think it was yesterday actually, I filtered milk, cleaned up my milk machine. It was like, I don't know, less than 15 minutes. And I opened the door just to check, and Treasury had it perfectly manicured. So the tomato plant got whacked about halfway down. But I mean, like, it never grew tall anyways. Like, it has stayed.
Right.
So it's like maybe 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
It looks like the leaves have knuckles. I mean, it's just so weird. It's bizarre. So I know that I did not have that in the soil that I brought in. I just don't think it was quality soil, you know? And I knew that, but I needed bulk. And it was cheap. And so you get what you pay for, you know? So I think for me, I'm going to be adding more of that chicken litter right out of the chicken coop.
Yes.
And I'm going to put more effort into my fetid swamp water. And mine got so stank and rank. And I was like, one of my kids said it smelled like something, and I can't remember what he said.
It's really bad.
It's really bad. I mean, it's rotting materials.
Right.
It's like
it
there's
smells
a dead
rotten.
body out there.
It does.
What is that?
It's bad.
That's Mom's compost. It's full of maggots. It's gross. So yeah, it did have a lot of black soldier fly larvae in it. So once I dumped it, because I couldn't take it anymore, I was like, I need to start this over. Something's not right.
Right.
Like, I got flies in it and
maybe
all of that.
too much material.
Yeah, well, I had that whole kitchen scrap
freezer.
Yes. So I had all of that stuff, and it just was bad. So once I dumped it, though, that stuff has really broken down to almost nothing.
Okay.
Like, there's nothing to show for it. I've put so much material in there, and it's gone. Like, it's just gone. So I'm going to try it again. I need a bigger container.
Yeah.
That was like a 25-gallon trash can or something like that.
Yeah.
I need to be sure I use the lid,
Yeah.
That was the other problem, is I didn't have the lid secured right. So like mosquitoes got in.
Yes. Flies. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to make a better effort to do that. Whispering Willow Farm, Jill and Nate Reagan on YouTube, and they have an online shop and all of that. I was watching one of her videos this morning, and they are an affiliate for a fertilizer that it's a liquid fertilizer, and she uses it as an injectable, and she was saying that she had it set on a 1-week timer through her drip line, so that once a week it went through her system.
That is so nice.
Yeah, and that now it's worked so well that they've been able to back off to once a month.
Nice.
So I went and priced it out. It's actually cheaper on her website than it is on the manufacturer's website. I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head, and I can't remember who makes it. It's it might be like AgriPro or somebody like that. But if you go to her website, Whispering Willow Farm, it'll come up under their shop. And so I might try that. It's not very cheap, and I don't think it's going to go very, very far.
Yeah.
But like if you have some trouble spots that you need to add a little extra something to, that might be something I try, because it's all natural too.
Nice.
So yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah,
for
see, I
that.
keep going back and forth. Like, should I use what I have to amend my garden? Or should I just bite the bullet and just go ahead and buy something in bulk and get it in there? And I mean, as depleted as it is, like, I feel like I've been throwing stuff at it all summer,
Right.
So, but I don't want to spend a ton of money either.
Well, and you don't want to keep doing stuff that doesn't work.
No.
Right. Right. So you've got some answers.
Yeah.
And you have a place to start.
But I'm fully convinced that every row's getting a little bit of that dirt from the chicken coop.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was saying
high,
in mine too.
Yeah, with that high nitrogen. So, it'll be real fun to put that on and then retest it.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah.
Like, how long do you think I should let it sit before I retest it?
I don't know.
And part of me, like, okay, I've been no-till for a while. It's been a long time. I don't even think my tiller runs. It's been so long since it's been started. But part of me goes, you know what? Maybe I need nutrients down deep. Like, maybe I should work that chicken coop dirt into the soil for a little bit.
Like with a broad fork.
Something like that,
Right.
yeah, because when I was testing, all of the samples came from 4 inches down, which is where the plant roots are,
Right. Right.
So I feel like I need to, like, get it in there.
Like make some of those like pegs, like I think Miracle Grow or somebody like that makes those like
Right.
potted plant pegs,
Yes.
like it's a spike,
Yes.
and it's a slow release. Yeah, something I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if I should
You know
work
what
it
I was
into the soil.
What I was just thinking, that liquid fertilizer, or even use like your fetid swamp water. You could use those tomato spikes that you use like a 2-liter bottle with.
Okay.
And you make like a little auto water with them but they work for pots, or they work like per tomato plant. So you could do one of those for your tomatoes or something that that's like a high nitrogen feeder, and pour that junk in there, and it'll slow release.
Yeah, that is a really great idea, and it kind of reminds me how I used to do my tomatoes in the around the bucket.
Oh, we did around the bucket once,
Yeah,
and they were
around the
great.
bucket. Yes, that worked really well for me for a couple of years. But I just got tired of digging the holes for the buckets.
Yeah.
And then once the buckets are sitting in the earth for the whole season, they crack when you pull them
And
out.
they're filled with the roots, like the roots grow into them.
Yeah, so I mean, it does get a little messy, but
It's a fun way to grow tomatoes.
it's a fun way to grow tomatoes, and you can put fertilizer in said bucket and then fill it up with water, and it fertilizes down deep.
And we
So,
did. That's exactly what we did. We
yeah.
put chicken poop right in there.
in chicken poop in the bucket.
In the bucket,
Yes, that's
yeah.
what we did too. So I don't know. I mean, it might be time to revisit that. I wonder what else you could grow like that.
I would imagine anything.
And so y'all know what we're talking about, because
I guess anything with deep roots,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Explain.
Yes. So we took a 5-gallon bucket. A friend of ours did this. And so we took a 5-gallon bucket, take a drill, and you drill holes around the sides of the bucket. We did like a ring of holes at the bottom, a ring around the middle, and then some up at the top. It wasn't like holes over the whole entire bucket, but just a few rows. And so you dig a hole in the ground deep enough to put the whole 5-gallon bucket almost flush with the ground.
Yeah.
Sometimes we would end up with a little lip,
Right.
which makes it easier to pull up out of the ground at the end of the season. If you make it completely flush, it's really hard to get your bucket
You
out.
got to dig it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get your bucket all the way down in the ground, and then we were planting 3 and 4 cherry tomato plants around one 5-gallon bucket, which that business got like a jungle.
It is like a jungle.
It was like a jungle. Like maybe 4 was a little too much. Maybe 3 would be better. And
3 works well because you can kind of triangle.
yes, you
around
can
your
make a
bucket.
triangle trellis. And that's another thing. Like you really have to have your trellising game on when you do your tomatoes like this. So you plant your tomatoes just a few inches away from the bucket all the way around. And then anytime you water your tomatoes, you just fill your 5-gallon bucket up with water. And it waters through the sides of the bucket deep down to where the tomato plant roots are.
Yeah.
So I thought about even just doing that for my fall winter tomatoes.
Sure.
Digging a couple of holes. I mean, I could essentially do it right up here by my back porch
Right.
if I could keep the chickens away from them.
Yeah.
Chickens love to eat tomatoes.
I have a funny tomato story in buckets. So my grandfather, God rest his soul, he had this grand idea when so my grandparents lived in Connecticut and we lived down here, and they decided that they were not going to miss their grandkids for any more holidays, birthdays, or anything. So they were
Okay.
moving. Well, he was like a cross-country truck driver. So he came first, and he was coming to like find work,
Scout it out.
find a place to live.
Yeah.
This is how we found Middleburg when I was young. And so we lived in Mandarin, like in an HOA.
I lived in Mandarin
Like,
too.
yeah, like not a fancy
Right.
neighborhood, just a little cookie cutter subdivision, small homes, small yards, and my grandfather came to stay with us as he scouted. So my parents come home one day and he's got this idea that we're going to grow tomatoes, and he's got all these 5-gallon buckets. And you know when the topsy-turvy tomato thing happened?
Yes.
That
Yes.
was years later, but it's very much the same thing where he planted these tomatoes in 5-gallon buckets and he hung them from the eaves off the back porch because I don't know, we couldn't have a garden maybe, or I don't know what it was, but that's what we
Right.
decided we were doing. And my mom was like, "Oh,"
Okay.
like out the dining room window. It's all we saw were buckets hanging from the eave right there outside the window. And he grew some monster Whopper tomatoes.
That's crazy.
Now, I was just a kid, like a young kid, and I don't remember like disease
Right.
or pests or anything like that. But the vines, they grew down like the topsy-turvy thing.
Yeah.
And they were healthy. They were great. He grew them in straight black cow. I do remember that. He put black cow in the buckets, a couple of drain holes, planted the tomatoes, monster tomatoes.
Nice.
So by the end, when they were done, they just like the vines hit the ground.
Yeah.
And it was like a curtain of tomato
Tomatoes.
vines. and
A tomato
tomatoes.
curtain.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I need on my porch, a tomato curtain.
Yeah. It was, it was not attractive, but it put tomatoes on the table. So there you go.
That's funny.
That was my first, that I can remember, that was my first exposure to growing something
Okay.
that I can really remember.
Right.
That was like, oh, that's how that works.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was not funny. It's kind of a family story that we kind of joke about. Remember when Grandpa grew tomatoes in buckets off the dining room? Yep. In the city.
And
Yep.
I bet they were darn good tomatoes.
I bet they were. I don't remember. I'm sure they were. Wow.
So yeah, I went through too, because so every year, like I draw out my garden.
Right.
to make a new plan, to figure out what's rotating where.
Right.
And so I
How
actually,
many beds you have.
yeah, like I actually did that with my garden for fall and winter, compared to my spring, summer one. And so I went through like all my seeds and like wrote down like how many days everything was.
Yes.
Like
I'm just in the beginning of that.
yeah, I was in like full on planning mode that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have near enough space out there for everything that I want to do.
You do. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you choose to like heavy water and heavy feed, you can really intensively plant.
Oh, there's going to be some heavy feeding going on.
You may not want to intensively plant, but you can. Like if you're planning to, really feed heavy and water heavy, you can put stuff closer together. Mm-hmm. I grew really, really well 2 years ago. Was our last garden before we moved that time, and I grew. I really experimented with this intensive planting thought, and I know like a lot of our heroes online are against it, but because like to conserve water, like naturally these plants would need to be further apart and establish better root systems and all of those things. But this was just something I really got into, like how much can I put in this spot? You know?
I got into it for a little while too.
Yeah, and I really was impressed with what you can do if you're willing to heavily amend, heavily feed, heavily water. Like I could not miss a water day in the summer. I could not miss. But I grew a lot of food.
Nice.
We're still eating some of that food, and it was 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which thankfully, because we moved last year.
Right.
So
And right. Yeah.
it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could do that. And I'm also like, I'm going to do a little bit of that. I'm going to also experiment with some vertical stuff, like where we normally grow bush style green beans. I'm going to grow some climbing pole beans instead. So I'm in those kind of planning stages. Like, how do I need to amend infrastructure and cleaning out? Like I said, like the cleaning out is like a tornado is going through the garden right now. Like it's a disaster.
That's the daunting part.
Yeah.
Of turning over a garden is that clean out.
Right.
That can be a lot of work.
Yeah.
In the Florida sun.
Yep. I have some beds completely empty.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go ahead and top them off with some compost, I think, and some chicken litter. And I'm going to throw some squash seeds in there. And more cucumbers, some beans, like some things that like I can just direct sow some seeds into. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then the other thing I've done is I've gone to see how many days do we have till our first average frost date?
When is that?
103 days from today.
103. Okay.
Yeah. So as you're planting and you're pulling your seeds, guys, you need to keep that in mind. So sweet potato slips are usually going to be like 120 days to get good sweet potatoes off of. You might be a little late for that, but you could gamble it too. You could, and here's the thing about where we are. Here in like 9A, 8B, I follow 8B rules because although we get the heat of like the zone 9s, we drop down to the 8B in the winter. And so I try to follow that. I don't want to lose any plants because I planted for zone 9 in the winter, Right. So even in 8B though, when we get that first frost, if you can protect your things from that first frost, we usually get a few more
You're
weeks.
usually good for a little while.
Yeah.
It's not like cold sets in and it stays.
No, no. And you're likely to be right back up into the 80s within a day or so.
Absolutely.
So, those sweet potatoes, they might not like a frost, but if you can cover your vines for that first, it might be a day or two, a night or two of frost. Right. You can probably get away with sweet potatoes still.
Yeah. I mean, 120 days, you said? That's a long time until our first predicted.
103.
103.
Yeah.
Okay. But still 103 is a long time. I mean,
right, you can grow a lot of things. A lot of people up north, they only get 100 growing days.
Right. I mean, you can grow a lot of things. I'm looking at my list, and the biggest thing on my list is probably rutabagas and leeks. Right. Leeks are 90 days.
Okay. Yeah. And
they're cold hardy. Are cold hardy.
Yeah.
So they would be fine anyway.
So are rutabagas.
So they would be fine.
So what are you planning like that's still summery stuff? Like tell me those.
pretty much all the things
Me too.
that didn't grow this year for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so summer, spring things. I've got scallop squash, shishito peppers. I would love to do some more sugar baby watermelons. I also, when I was going through my seeds, found some Kahari melon seeds that I saved. Those would be really fun to do. So I thought, I've got an open trellis. Like maybe I
Yeah.
could just throw a couple seeds in there.
I'd love to swap some
Yeah.
for you or
Yeah.
buy some or whatever
Well,
if you
and
have extra.
And I've got a bunch of Seminole pumpkin seeds too.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
Yeah, so you can have some of those too. I've got cucumbers on my list, okra. I've got tomatoes on my list. Those are all the spring, summer things. Other than that, stuff on my list, of course, is broccoli, cabbage, carrots, collards. I love mustards and collards, and
Yeah.
of course, all the salad mixes.
Yes.
It is really fun to grow food for fall and winter.
I love it because your bug pressure is not as heavy.
It's not near as heavy.
The disease pressure is not as heavy. So the trick is getting a lot of these things through this hottest beginning part.
Yes.
The cold hardy things, like your broccoli and those things. The trick is getting them to stay alive through the hottest part.
Mine were totally covered in 70% shade cloth last year. I was able to get, and on Amazon, they're not that expensive at all.
Right.
Like $20 a section. And I think I had to buy 4 sections to cover my 6 rows right in the center. So they did good under that shade cloth.
I have some hoops for my beds that fit my 4-foot wide beds, my raised beds. And I've done this before to cover my brassicas. And so basically put the hoops in, and I've got insect netting, but I was looking at getting some shade cloth that would fit that same size.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about your garden, because all your beds are the same size.
Yes. Well,
That's
on the
really-
raised bedside,
That's really convenient.
I was really aiming for that before we moved, and my
Right.
whole garden was only raised beds. That's what I was shooting for. I wanted everything to be uniform so that I could do,
Right, that way you can move stuff
netting.
around.
Right, I could do. I could have trellising all the same size. I could have the shade cloth all the same size. All I had to do, or tarps, whatever I needed to do, I had it. I just had to drag it out, put it away.
Right.
So, but now I've got that, and then I also have the in-ground rows that are. There's really no rhyme or reason as to the size of those. They're bigger than recommended. They're wider than recommended. I don't know.
Yeah. Some of my rows are nice and neat and small and spaced like they're supposed to. And then I've got another section that the rows are really far apart and they're really wide. And
Right.
I don't even
as
know.
long as I can fit my wagon or a wheelbarrow. Oh, I got a cart for my birthday that has the fancy little tractor seat. It's nice and comfy when I'm
Nice.
pulling all those grass weeds out. Yeah. So as long as I can wheel that stuff through
As
my
long
rows.
as you can get it through there.
Yeah, then I'm good. Yep. And then
That's
as far as
nice.
a row goes, I don't plant a single row of anything within my row. My peanuts, I have 1 row of peanuts, but it's really 3 plants wide.
Right.
So-
Yeah. When I do my beans, I do a double staggered row.
Right. Right.
You can get a lot of beans out of 1 row. You put 2 rows on 1 row, you can get a lot of beans. So
Yeah. One thing that I really want to do better this year are fall potatoes. I can't find them to order.
yeah, potatoes are kind of my nemesis. Now I know why my potatoes did so sucky this year. My potato plants looked awful.
You had no pea.
I had-
They like the pea.
Yeah, I had nothing.
Phosphorus.
I
Yeah.
had nothing. You know how long it took me to grow 1 okra?
Oh.
It took
What?
it took 3 months, and I got 1 okra.
Oh, that's so sad. My cherry tomato, you know how easy it is to grow cherry tomatoes. I grew no cherry tomatoes this year.
Yeah.
The only cherry tomatoes I have coming in are off of a volunteer. That's it.
You need to test your garden soil.
I want to so bad, but I think I might take the extra step to get
Yeah.
all the little details because I'm into that Steve Solomon.
Yeah.
And he talks about all of that.
Yeah.
And how, like, well, yeah, your NPK is important, but, like,
But
if you don't have sulfur, then
all those minerals are super important.
they all work together, too. Yeah, you really got to work towards balance in that. So I want to do potatoes. I really want to, my strawberries are starting to run.
Are they?
Yeah, so I want to do a second strawberry bed. So
I do too.
So we need. Okay, we got it.
Yeah.
We're in agreement. We're
Yeah.
gonna order strawberries.
We need more strawberries.
That's what I just heard.
I have to build the bed, but I've got the material.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And then I want to add in. Well, I want to do onions from seeds instead of sets. So now is the time to do that.
okay.
I'm gonna try that. I've done it once, and I forgot to water one day, and they all dried
And they were
out.
done.
Well, they were like tiny little.
Yes.
It's one of those like seed trays that has, I don't know, 500 pods in there or something like that. So they're tiny.
Yeah.
And they dried out. So I'm just going to be diligent about keeping them watered when you start seeds, guys. You really got to keep them watered. Garlic, got to get back in the garlic game.
Yes, I want to try the elephant garlic.
Yes, it's good.
Yes.
It is good. And then bunching onions. I'd like to add in some bunching onions because those are good like year round and they'll kind of spread and
you
come
can
back.
just cut from the tops
Yeah.
and put them all over the garden.
Right. So I want to do that. Okay, this is a new one. Asparagus. So the University of Florida has a new cultivar called UC 157 asparagus. It's
Okay.
supposed to do well here.
Okay.
So
And that comes back,
Yes.
correct? Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
and now it takes some time to get established.
Okay.
3 years is my understanding, like from seed. So
Okay.
you buy crowns, and so those are already 1 year in, and plant them, and then you don't harvest for 2 years. So you let it spread and reseed itself.
So would you do like a dedicated raised bed or in the ground?
I would probably do in the ground, but where I don't plan to do anything else.
Right.
So
But then like how do you keep the grass out of that? And like how do you
I don't know yet. You're asking me questions I haven't thought through. Well,
That's why my brain says do those in a raised bed
Yeah.
because it's just easier to keep it clean.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I moved my strawberries.
Into a raised bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime I tried to do strawberries in the ground, I never, they never survived 1 year.
I need to think about it
But
some
these
more.
ones in my raised bed, I'm pretty sure that I'll have those for years to come.
Right.
They look great. I do have in the middle of that bed, I grew Egyptian spinach in some empty spaces that I have. I've got to get that stuff pulled out of there.
Is it seeding?
It's huge.
Oh.
It's not seeding. It is huge. It's like this big bush.
Like a clump?
Yeah. So I'm like, I really need to get that out of there so the strawberries can have some space.
Right.
'Cause- So the
Right.
sheep are about to get a treat.
Yeah.
They'll probably love it.
I think that's all my new stuff. I will continue. Okay, so it's August 4th today.
Yeah.
This will air August 5th. So right now, like as of this weekend, I am planting all of those hot weather things that Jenny mentioned. And then I will
So you'll be-
sow those again in September.
Okay.
Well, most of those things.
Okay. So are you like starting tomato seeds?
Oh, let me tell you what I did this week. So I spent about 4 hours in my tomato beds one day, and I clipped off suckers.
Okay.
They're all sitting in a bucket. They're all
Nice.
mixed up. I don't know who is
You don't know
who.
what's what.
It's going to be great. So I've got a bucket of started suckers.
Okay.
I'm letting them root, and then I'll put them back on the
Nice.
ground. I'm going to put some in pots and maybe sell them. We'll see. Or share them with friends. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Right.
But I clipped way more than I know I'm going to grow. And then, so I took out one whole row. It just was too diseased. I didn't keep anything off of it. I just took it all out. I fed it to my chickens.
Be done with
They're
it.
very happy with it. I'm going to grow some pole beans on that trellis next.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I left one tomato row that I clipped from. It has a little disease to it, but nothing I don't feel is overwhelming and can be
Yeah.
treated. I haven't treated it because we're getting these torrential rains every night, and it's like I'm gonna have to treat
It's
it
hard
every day.
to, right. It's, yeah.
But I did a heavy, heavy, heavy pruning on them. Like, have you ever seen how they grow tomatoes like in a high tunnel on 1 liter? So
Yes.
like there's no
There's
foliage for
nothing.
about the first 4 feet from
Yeah.
the ground. So like you can see through the tomato wall.
Yeah.
It's really neat. So and then the top is a little not bushy, but that's where all the leaves
Yeah.
are. So
Yeah.
yeah, my people were happy because I pulled all the green tomatoes off of that one row, and they're so excited for green tomato night sometime.
love it.
I know.
I love it.
So yeah, that's what I did with tomatoes. So I have those vines started. I may start some more seeds. I'm not super sure on that. I will start more peppers. I didn't have a great pepper year.
I didn't either. Although for the first time, my Scotch bonnets were successful. So that was kind of fun. I didn't get a ton, but I got some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some good daddles, which was a first for us this year. Interestingly, Eric made a huge salad a couple of days ago, and he calls me in. I was doing the tomatoes. He calls me. He's like, "Hey, come in and enjoy this big, beautiful salad I made." I'm like, "Okay." It was really funny. It's like, okay, so I come in and have a salad for lunch. He says, "I put some of those shishito peppers you had in there." He can't remember what they're called, so he called them something else. It sounded racist. I don't know. And I was like, okay, so, if you let them sit too long on the plant, they turn red.
Yeah.
Or orangey red, you
Yeah.
know. And I just thought that's what was in there. But he put some daddles in there. And I'm not like a spicy. I like some spice. I won't eat spicy peppers off the vine. That's not
Right.
That's not for me. And so, we'll never grow Scotch bonnets at my house. That's not for us. The hottest we get is like jalapenos. We do some serranos. And that's going to be like for seasoning in the kitchen.
Right. Right.
But yeah, he put daddles in that salad, and I had to drink a glass of milk with my salad. It was a bit.
It
much
was a little
Like I
much.
could feel it hot on my stomach. It was not good. So, anyways, I digress. But yeah, I'll probably do some peppers again. Yeah, I'm excited to get it all going. I'm trying
It's
to clean
time.
out.
Yeah, it's time. But I did notice when I was looking back through my garden journal last winter.
Benefit of keeping
I know, like
It is.
I've actually been like a somewhat decent note taker as far as garden stuff goes. And the last couple of years, I've written down what my starting dates are for my seeds. And I looked back to fall, winter, 2021, and on August 25th,
Oh,
August 25th. That means we're not late.
no.
And I had a good tomato year last winter.
Okay.
On August 25th, I started my broccoli, my cabbage, my bok choy, my tomatoes, my cherry tomatoes, and that was all I have dates for.
Okay.
So,
Good.
August 25th.
So we're not late.
We're not late.
We're not late
We're
at all.
right on time.
Right. Right. We just we put this pressure on ourselves, I feel like. So
Yes.
we don't need to.
So, yeah, and then maybe if we start seeds, then you have the pressure of, oh, I got to get these rows done.
Yeah.
I got to get this amended because these transplants are going to need to go in 4 to 6 weeks.
Right. Right.
So I got to do that. I got to get my shade cloth up.
Yeah.
But that's if I'm going to plant my garden, or am I going to do a new one? I feel
know.
like, Lord, I'm sorry. I already messed it up, but I'm going to go ahead and replant it.
I feel like he knows your heart and he knows what you're gonna do.
He knows.
I don't even if we don't know what we're gonna do, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I don't know.
I really just feel like we need to continue to grow food for our house.
Yeah.
I feel very strongly about that. And for me to just not grow anything in the garden,
It just doesn't
when
seem
I
possible.
had such a bad spring, summer, I'm not the one to go to the grocery store and buy all of this stuff that I normally would grow.
Right. I've bought a lot of stuff this year for putting up just because I didn't have a great garden.
Yeah, I saw the flea market post again yesterday and thought the last couple of weeks I've thought I need to just go pick up some stuff, but I haven't had time to be in the kitchen to can it all.
Right.
But I think in the next couple of weeks I might. So I might go get like tomatoes, okra, mushrooms, and then maybe some peaches because I actually did get some peppers and it would be nice to make spicy peach jam.
I did use my daddles that way.
Yeah, that's so good.
It is so good.
It's such a treat. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what time permits.
Right. Right. We got all of that.
Right.
Well, I think that we covered a good way to start our fall gardens.
Yeah, that was definitely where we're at with the fall winter garden planning. That's for sure.
Doing all the summer things again and then starting the cold things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. So I just encourage y'all, if y'all are in between your garden seasons and you've never tested your garden soil, do it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yes, do it. It'll answer a lot of questions.
Maybe I can just buy some from you since you have that big pack.
Yeah, I've got a whole...
Maybe we'll do that. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, following along, and we will get back to you next week.
Yep, sounds good.
Bye.